What's going on, Facebook? How's everybody doing? I'm going to let you guys fill in here. I got something exciting going on. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So I've been doing a whole lot of webinar work lately, and I've been nerding out on it. So I'm really excited to kind of show you guys what I've been learning and how things have come together and what I'm able to do. So lately, I've been helping a lot of people in the 2CCX group, create their webinars. Not only write a webinar, but literally in like 1 hour, we can come up with the majority of the content that they actually need in order to run this webinar. So I decided, hey, I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to give myself a little challenge, and I'm going to try it out without actually, having the person here in front of me. So the person that I chose in my comments earlier, it was Trey. I see that he just hopped in. So if you guys are coming in live, give me that hashtag live. For those of you coming on the replay, give me the hashtag replay. I appreciate it. It helps me out. And again, if you guys at any point during this presentation, you think, hey, like I want Brendan to help me out with my webinar, just go on, shoot me a message, and we'll definitely work something out right away so that you can get some help on this too. So here it goes, guys. So the topic here is basically, and I'm just gonna start out with the document. I'm gonna go all the way down. I'm gonna show you guys the process that I bring people through, okay? So the topic here is basically digital marketing for MLMs. Real basic, a few people have covered it already. I'm gonna throw my own twist on it. And like I said, I'm doing this totally out of my head and coming up with it as I go. So I talked to Trey for like 5 minutes earlier, and I said, hey, what is it? I said, what's the product? What's the new opportunity? And literally asked him like 3 questions, and we hopped off, and I said, all right, I'm gonna figure it out live later. I'm not worried about it. So that's because I have this process down, and I wanna show you guys exactly the process that I'm going through. So again, if you guys are coming in live, give me the hashtag live. If you're coming in later, give me the hashtag replay, and I appreciate it. All right, so first thing here, I'm gonna bring you guys through a lot of steps, and it's probably gonna be quite a bit of time, probably almost an hour, I would assume. But basically, we're gonna spend half the time creating this webinar and the essential pieces of it, the bulk of it, and then I'm gonna go and pitch it to you guys right at the end. So here we go. The first thing you guys need to understand when you're actually writing a webinar is understanding the anatomy of a webinar, okay? So I'm going to go through the perfect webinar. Basically that's where I start with the webinar, is I write a perfect webinar and then I make changes and edits and tweak things and, add and take away parts from there. But for those of you who have never written one, the perfect webinar is a really, really good structure. There is a ton of great stuff out there aside from the perfect webinar, but it's an amazing place to start. So obviously Expert Secrets, it's in there. Go check out the perfect webinar. But really, when you look at it, here's what's in a perfect webinar. You have the introduction, right, where you build rapport and you kind of introduce yourself. And then you have your origin story. Then you have your 3 secrets. And inside those 3 secrets is secret one, and then your epiphany bridge. Okay. And so on for the next 2 as well. So that's that section. That's the content of the actual webinar itself, okay? And this is just important so that you guys can wrap your head around what is actually in a webinar, because I know it's really difficult to actually, wrap your head around it because it's such a big thing. So you have your intro, your origin story, your 3 secrets, which is the actual content, and then your stack and close, right? So I'm gonna go into all this stuff, and I'm gonna write it pretty quickly. I'm gonna buzz through it, but yeah, that's it. So once you can wrap your head around it, you really realize that it's only 4 stories in intro and a stack and close. So as long as you have your offer, you should be able to do this fairly quickly, okay? So what I like to do, and this is a really easy way and a really concrete way that you guys can go and actually figure out what the 3 secrets should be, what your origin story should be, and what these people need to hear in order to actually buy, okay? So the first thing I do is find out the avatar, okay? Now, I talked to Trey a little bit earlier. So in this case, our avatar is somebody who is in an MLM, right? So maybe having success, maybe not, okay? Either way, they're in an MLM, so they're already convinced that an MLM is the vehicle for them. So we're not gonna go in and talk about how great MLMs are because these people are already in them, right? There's no need for them to hear that. So what I like to do is say, and I actually put it into the big domino. So the big domino is super, super important for those of you who don't actually use it. You're crazy. You should have the big domino behind your desk at all times sitting on the wall, okay? So basically how the big domino goes is if I can make people, and I like to change people into my avatar. This is something that Russell doesn't do in the book. If I can make my avatar believe that my new opportunity, and you guys should know this, is the key to what they desire most, and it's only attainable through my specific vehicle, then I'm going to write this out. Everything else becomes irrelevant and they have to give me money, right? Okay. So there it is. There's your big domino statement. I'm going to fill it in here for ClickFunnels just so you guys can see what it looks like in a really concrete example that's not the one that we have, okay? So I would probably fill in business owners here or entrepreneurs. Either one works, okay? And this is really, really important, guys. My new opportunity, which is sales funnels, is the key to online business success. It's only attainable through ClickFunnels, right? Cool. So that's for ClickFunnels. I'm going to go in and do it for Trey here now. So basically what I asked him and what I needed to know, one of the only questions that I needed to know was, what is the new opportunity? So Trey said, hey, well, really, basically the new opportunity is it's not cold messaging, because that's what people are told they have to do. Hey, go on Facebook and cold message people, right? And I said, all right, well, so what do you do then? Like, what is the actual physical thing that you guys do? And he says, well, it's all about intentional marketing. I said, okay, what is intentional marketing? And he says, he starts telling me, and I'm like, all right, it's basically like building a brand or attractive character. So that's the first thing you need to know. Who is your dream customer, your avatar? So if I can make MLMers, and these people are already in MLMs, remember that, believe that building the attractive character or a brand is the key to growing your downline, because I'm assuming that's what these people want. They're probably having trouble with it. You know, they're using all these other methods, and it's only attainable through, I actually don't even know what his program, the name of it is, then everything else becomes relevant. So let's look at this, guys, okay? So if I can make MLMers, right, people who are already in MLMs and they're already sold on MLM being the vehicle that they're gonna have success with. If I can make them believe that building the brand or the attractive character is the key to growing their downline. So there's a few requirements that have to happen here. Do they truly, truly, truly want to grow their downline more than anything else? If yes, then okay, we can move on. We can say, all right, well, what's our new opportunity that we're gonna show them then? And what is our new program? So basically, this is really important. You guys have to nail this piece, because we can change this around a lot, right? If we were to say, hey, maybe what they really want is to sell a product, this is going to be a completely different presentation, a completely different webinar, and the entire thing is going to change. Every single secret, every single story, everything is going to change. So you have to make sure that this is going to be accurate, okay? But this is the first step, is figuring out your big domino, and this is why. Because your big domino dictates everything else and is fulfilled by your origin story, okay? Now, this is something I came up with because I feel like it just makes a lot of sense. So what your origin story is supposed to do is actually fulfill the big domino. So by the end of the origin story, they should believe that building a brand or an attractive character is the key to growing their downline. And then, so you're like, okay, well, what are the 3 secrets then? The three secrets are breaking their objections or any false beliefs that they have about that origin story, right? Or the new opportunity, which is building a brand or an attractive character. So that's all secrets 1, 2, and 3 are. Those are breaking false beliefs. But really, the origin story convinces them and fulfills the big domino, okay? Really, really important there, because it makes it easy, because then you have to say, okay, what is my origin story? And then all you have to say is, well, hey, how do I make them believe that building an attractive character? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and write an epiphany bridge. But what we're going to do first is write the headline for the freaking webinar, okay? So because we have this stuff, it's really cool. It makes it really easy. So we can do a nice how to desire without fear, even if false belief. So what this is probably going to look like is how to infinitely grow your downline. Without, and he said that what they were throwing rocks against was kind of cold messaging. And I'm going to say, or feeling like an idiot. Because I know a lot of people, you know, with the things that the big businesses and MLMs, the way that they tell them to market, they end up feeling stupid, right? So how to desire without fear, even if false belief. Even if you've, and one that always works, guys, is tried everything else and failed, okay? So tried everything else and failed. We could go into that, or we can go into, even if you've been through 10 plus MLMs or something. Okay, so cool. So there is our headline. There's our headline. So we're going to put that on our sales page. That's going to on our registration. That's literally going to be what goes on the registration. Now, this obviously you wouldn't be able to get away with if you're running ads to Facebook. That's okay. But this is what's going to be the headline on your actual welcome slide, right? So if you've ever seen Russell's webinar where it's like funnel hacking, this, or my secret strategy that makes $17,000 a day or whatever, this is what's going to be on your first slide, okay? So there you go. All right, so after your webinar headline, we can actually go and we can get into writing that origin story, okay? And I'm going to breeze through it really, really quickly, okay? Because I'm not going to sit here and write stories with you all day. But what I like to do with my clients is say, here is the ideal story. And then we can fulfill it with either a client testimonial or whatever they have, okay? So we're going to go in. We're going to say backstory, desire. You guys know the drill. Internal/external struggles, the wall, the epiphany, the journey or the plan. I like to call it the journey because a lot of times it makes more sense than it is the journey. Conflict, I also like to say, is optional. And this is just the way I teach people. You know, everybody has their own opinions and whatnot, but this is how it works for me. And then achievement and transformation, right? Okay, so here's the thing. We need to figure out what epiphany they need to have in order to believe our big domino, which is this, okay? So what is the epiphany that they need to have? They need to have the epiphany, oh my God, I need to, and it helps to write this out sometimes too. The epiphany at the origin story needs to make happen is, oh my God, I need to start building my brand. Okay, so now we're gonna go in. And here's what the story is gonna look like. This is the ideal story. So what I would say to Trey is I'd be like, hey man, well, what was your experience like? Obviously, how did you get into the new opportunity? Or you could even use a client testimonial or a client case study. And that totally works too. It's probably a little more powerful if it's yourself. But so here we go. So the backstory, you know, I join an MLM. I'm going to do this really, really briefly, and I'm going to go more into it probably and add my own jazz when I actually go and do the quick pitch. Desire, right? So what is their desire? I want to grow my downline. Grow my downline. Struggles. My upline slash, you know, corporate, whatever, was telling me to cold message. They said it was a numbers game and to spam everyone, and it would eventually work. Okay, it's a gist. The wall, then usually it's something that happens. Usually it's something, and a lot of times what you could do for your epiphany too is like, I talked to a buddy and they were having great success. So this could be like, I looked at what the successful people were doing. I embarrassed myself so bad when X happened. Okay. Journey in the plan. So I saw that they had a theme and created content and did this and this and this. Conflict, like I said, it's optional. Achievement, probably I sold, not sold, I added my first person to my downline. This is going to go up here actually. This is, I like to call it the journey because, hey, so I tried it. I tried what the epiphany actually said, transformation. I never cold messaged again. Cool. So there is our ideal origin story. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to make people believe that building a brand is the way to go. So that's part one, guys, origin story. Like I said, I'm going to go through and I'm going to add more information to this when it actually, when I go through and pitch for you, okay? So the next thing I like to do is figure out all the objections that this person's going to have about our product, right? So first of all, I should tell you guys our product, it's an info product / course / program to help MLMers add people to their downline. Cool. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to type out all of the objections that anybody might have to buying this product, okay? And I'm going to write out a handful and kind of show you guys what to do from there. So it's not my business. I don't know if these are all real objections or not, but I don't have Trey in front of me, so I'm just figuring it out as I go, okay? So these are objections that people have against buying that product or against the idea of building a brand, okay? So first thing about building a brand is probably I'm not interesting. I'm sure he gets that one all the time. Takes too long. What these are: objections to buying / objections about. Cool. All right, so it takes too long to build a brand. It's too hard. I'm not techie. I'm scared on video. Not sure what to talk about. There's too much competition. And I'm just rolling these out. I'm assuming that these are things that people have, right? I don't have time, don't have money. I don't know anybody else doing it. All right. So there's a handful right there. We can go on. And if I actually had Trey in front of me, what I would do is we would probably do this for like 15 minutes and literally get like an entire page of any single objection that anybody would ever have to buying. Okay, so let's see. So next thing we do is we're going to take these, we're going to categorize them, right? So these vehicle, internal, external objections, and what these are going to do, or they're going to turn into our 3 secrets. Okay, so we're going to go VIE, vehicle, basically objections or false beliefs that the vehicle, which is building a brand, doesn't work for MLM, okay? Internal, these are not excuses, these are usually insecurities about why they can't do it, why it won't work for them, and then external excuses for why they can't start or pull it off. And these are like the last minute things, okay? So this is how your mind kind of goes through in your head when you're getting pitched, right? So first you're gonna say, well, does building a brand really work? And then once he tells that origin story and he sells the person watching the webinar that they are actually, and they truly believe that building a brand is the key, then they're gonna be like, oh, but can I actually do it? I don't know if I could do it. So then what he does, he has to tell this other story. And I'm gonna go write that story in a second. And then they're gonna like, oh man, so building a brand is the right way. And I guess I could do it, but there's this last thing. And then that's the last objection. That's the secret number 3 usually, where they have to break that last false belief, okay? So what we're gonna do here is, I'm not interesting. That's probably an internal. It takes too long. That's an external. That's an excuse. It's too hard. That is a vehicle, saying building a brand is too hard. I'm not techie. That's an insecurity. I'm scared on video, also insecurity. I don't know what to talk about. That kind of goes into all of them a little bit, but probably an external mostly. There's too much competition. External, I don't have time. External, I don't have money. External, I don't know anybody else doing it. That's a bit of all of them, honestly. But so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull some of these out, and I could have made a way more extensive list, but basically, here's the vehicle false belief that we have to tackle. Okay, and we're gonna probably pick out the biggest one here. It's too hard is the one that we have. I'm trying to think, is that the right one? Let's see. It's too hard. I don't know what to do, probably. It's too hard. I don't know what to talk about. That's what I would guess that the vehicle is. I don't know. Like I said, it's not my business, but we'll figure it out. So then we're going to go in, and they're going to say, oh, well, I don't know what to talk about. Oh, well, then we're going to go and we're going to tell a story that tells them how it's really easy to make content or build that brand, right? Then we're going to go, what is the internal objection? You know, maybe I'm not interesting. I'm probably going to say that this actually goes here. I don't know what to talk about. I'm not interesting. Vehicle might be that it's too hard. And then external is going to be pulling them right out of here. Probably it takes too much time. I would have to guess that people, once you sell them on this, they're going to say, I don't have time. We have 13 people on, guys. Hopefully this is useful to you, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. We have a lot of information here, but you're going to see it all come together. It's going to be pretty cool, okay? So sweet. We have our vehicle internal, external stories. Now what I'm going to do, guys, really quick, because I don't actually know what his product is, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an offer out of this, okay? So here we go. Building an offer out of these objections. And this is pretty cool. I don't know if a lot of people are doing this yet. I mean, I know if you've been in the world for a little bit, you probably are, but for some of you, this might be a new aha, okay? So basically, what we're going to do is that our offer, and what I call like the golden offer template, it's even inside Expert Secrets, is, you know, your basically piece number one is your masterclass / info product. That's your course, right? Number two, you're going to have tools / supplemental pieces. Number three, we're going to have something to break vehicle false belief. Number four, we're going to have something to break internal false belief. Number five, we're going to have something to break external false belief. Okay, and then number six, these are all bonuses. These are always really good to have. Something to increase speed / effectiveness or reduce friction. Okay, make the process easier. And then number seven, you don't have to have 7 things in your stack, but this is basically what a good stack looks like, okay? And this is specific for the webinar, specific urgency / scarcity bonus. Reason to act now, okay? And the thing is with webinars especially, if you don't have this, people are gonna think they can get it whenever. So let's see what we can do here, okay? I'm gonna build this out. I'm gonna say number one is the, you know, MLM branding blueprint, whatever. I'm gonna give them all stupid names. Don't get caught up on the names, guys. It really doesn't matter what they're called, okay? Then we're gonna go into tools or supplements that they could use, okay? So what we're probably gonna have are, you know, video scripts with call to actions, done for you, content, email swipes. You know, these are all tangible things that these people can have. And a lot of people just call it like the blank toolkit, right? So the ultimate MLM toolkit. And it has all these different things in it. Not going to go super into it, but you know, Trey knows what his people need, and he's going to build some sort of toolkit for them. So something to break the vehicle false belief. Now, this is sometimes hard to do. A lot of times what you can do is just show them past experiences of what have worked, okay? So this could be case studies about people who have done it in the past. And not case studies, but like deep dives into their strategies, interviews with them about what they did. So basically this just says, okay, other people are doing this and you have something to support it in your offer, okay? Something to break that internal false belief. What was our big internal false belief? I don't know what to talk about. I'm not interesting, okay? So what are we gonna put in our offer? Something that tells them what to talk about or how to be interesting, right? You know, how to create endless branding content. And it's gonna be the, you know, MLM content blueprint. Oh, we already have blueprint. Content masterclass / roadmap, whatever it is, right? So basically how to create endless branding content, never run out of ideas. Cool. Number 5, break the external beliefs. Okay, so time is the biggest concern. I'm guessing, right, guys? I said I'm going through this. It's probably not half accurate, but I'm showing you the process that I go through when I'm trying to write this webinar, okay? So something to break that external false belief. Time, so what can we do to, decrease the amount of time that people are spending? We could say content could be one thing. Don't really know, the perfect, Facebook Live formula, how to map out your content, brand building hacks, whatever, okay. Something to increase speed or effectiveness. Another thing you can add in here, guys, is always, accountability. And pay attention to the way that I actually frame this when I go and I talk about accountability, okay? Because this is huge. And a lot of people just say, hey, join my Facebook group. It's worth $500. And it's like, okay, no, it's not. But if you position it the right way, it absolutely can be, okay? So number 6 here, increase speed effectiveness. Maybe it is, coaching. Maybe it's, one-on-one time. And you can see how this is becoming actually a pretty cool offer for these people if they actually do have these false beliefs, right? This is assuming that these people have these false beliefs. So if they're in that situation, yes, this would be a good offer, but who knows, okay? So urgency scarcity bonus. So this could be like onboarding consultation, 2 hours with Trey. That's, just more one-on-one time people think is really valuable. Or we could do something like, exclusive, Voxer access, whatever. Hopefully it doesn't take you that much time though, because you don't really, if you're selling these on a webinar and you're running ads to it, you don't want to give Voxer access to everybody who joins that night, because you're going to have a million people on Voxer eventually. And then accountability community. So Facebook group. Cool. And that's what's in it. Like I said, I'm going to reframe that later. So now we have this somewhat juicy offer, okay? And we can throw some prices on them if we want to. End everything at 7 because that's what we do. Maybe, all that stuff is worth $4.97 or more. Deep dives into all these interviews and everything. Maybe that's a $4.97. Roadmaps and content creation. Let's say that's another $4.97. Facebook Live formulas. This would probably be something a little bit more. I don't really love this one, but $7.97, cool. One-on-one coaching. Let's say this is weekly coaching, whatever. Say, I'm just throwing prices on them, guys. Don't judge me for doing this. I don't know. 2 hours with 2-hour consultation, cool. That Trey's, I know he knows his shit. So let's say $2.997. Whatever he charges for 2 hours. I don't know. Sometimes I do 2-hour calls for $1,000, $1,500. So I don't know what he charges, but let's make it $9.97 because MLMers tend to be not as affluent. Facebook group, and we're going to position this as $500, and I'll show you how. Cool. So now we have this offer, guys, and if we add it up, let's say 3, 4, 4,500, 5,000. 5,800, 7,800, 8,800, 9,300. So let's say I'm just putting an estimate in here, $9,274, okay? Total value. Boom. Now we just created an awesome offer, and we're going to sell it for $9.97. Today's price, $9.97. Cool. So now we have our offer, and I hope you guys see how we did that out of the objections. And like I said, I would go way more into this if I were actually on it with somebody. So tell me, guys, was that cool? It was, are you guys getting that? Did you see exactly how I did that? Do you guys have any questions? Let me know, because I'm going through it very quickly, but I want you to be able to see exactly how I came up with this stuff. And it's not just, value. Basically, what I'm saying is your offer has to be valuable, yes, but it also has to be just as logical, right? So think of Russell when he pitches ClickFunnels. He doesn't say, oh, here's funnels and more funnels and this and that. He basically, he knows that copywriting is a big objection, right? I can't write copy. So he throws in funnel scripts. He knows that traffic is an objection. So he throws in traffic secrets, right? So he does all these things intentionally because he knows the problems that you guys are going to run into, the objections that you're going to have, okay? Cool. So now we have this offer. What do we do next? So we have our headline, we have our vehicle, internal, externals, we have our origin stories. What I'm going to do next is turn these into, I'm going to turn these into 3 secrets, okay? So there's our false belief. It's too hard. So what we're going to do is how to build a brand with little to no effort, even if you're starting from complete scratch. So cool. So this is going to become, this was our vehicle false belief. And what this is going to become is our secret number 1. Secret number 1. Boom. So now we're going to go into secret number 2. And we're building these straight out of our false beliefs. Okay, guys? So let's see, our false belief. I don't know what to talk about. I'm not interesting. How to never run out of content ideas and build an audience of raving fans, even if you're the most boring person in the world. Okay. External, I don't have time to do it. Number 3. How to do it all in just 15 minutes per day. Cool. Maybe not true. Let's say an hour a day, right? We're building a business. Let's not be ridiculous. How to build your audience. To 1K, grow an audience to 1K, just 1 hour per day. Sweet. So here's our 3 secrets, guys. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually write stories for each of these. And I'm going to burn through them really quick, just like I did before with this one here. And these would be, 5-10 minute stories about you or a client, basically a case study. Okay. So backstory, and again, this is where your people are starting out. These people are starting out. So you want your epiphany bridges to start with where your prospect is now and end with where they want to be, okay? And the epiphany, the actual epiphany that they need to have, that's the bridge between where they are now and where they want to be, right? So how to build a brand with little to no effort, even if you're starting from complete scratch. So backstory, I had no audience, brand, following, etc. I knew that building an audience was what I needed to do, but I was trying all these different things and putting in so much effort with little to no return. Okay. So this could be, well, let's see. The epiphany they need to have right now is that it's really easy. And so what makes it really easy? I'm going to say our epiphany might be, I realized that all of people who were killing it only talked about one thing. They had a theme. So what we're trying to do, guys, is basically have these people realize that building or having a theme is a really easy way to, build the brand, okay? So the wall was, I gave up, whatever. So I started talking about X. Cool. Conflicts, it's okay. I started getting followers, transformation, you know, like I said, I'm ripping through these guys, okay? This is just so I can actually go through and, you know, pitch this for you at the end, okay? So how to never run out of content ideas. Let's go and let's write a story for this, because this is what we do. And these stories, these are to break the false beliefs. Now, these people were assuming that they already have the epiphany that they need to build a brand or you know, be an attractive character, okay? This is with the assumption that the origin story worked and they understand that they need to build their own brand, okay? So, you know, so then this story, basically the epiphany we need to have, how to never run out of content ideas. The false belief was that I'm going to run out of content. I don't know what to talk about. Was I ran out of stuff to talk about. You know, I wanted to keep serving and creating, but I had no ideas. You know, I started talking about other stuff, but people lost interest and my following fell off. Maybe the wall was one of my super fans told me I changed. Wasn't following me. Okay. You know, I basically what I want to have here is the epiphany needs to be that, you know, questions, and I totally believe this, questions, answering people's questions are the way to hear about. Boom. So then I created content for each question. So basically the epiphany is that answering your audience's questions is the best way to make content that's going to be relevant and that they're going to love. The achievement, I now have stuff to talk about and I'm giving insane value that they want. Okay, cool. Secret number 3. And I'm building these out real quick. Remember, these are the ideal stories, guys. Basically, I just want to show you the epiphany that they need to have. Now, maybe Trey's epiphany is different. Maybe he has another story that's going to work better, whatever. But you know, I'm creating this for the purpose of this example for you guys here tonight, okay? So, backstory, how to grow an audience to 1K in just an hour per day. Now, let's say, you know, maybe the key here is, you know, lead magnets, okay? The epiphany, and I don't know what his strategy is. I'm gonna say lead magnets, build the audience. Okay, so, you know, people were following me, basically, I was getting momentum. Here's the backstory. I was getting momentum and people loved me. Desire. I wanted to monetize my following and actually start adding people, right? So some of the struggles, I couldn't market to them or get them on a call. Or maybe, you know, growing audiences through a funnel or automating it, okay? Maybe the funnel is the process, okay? So I was reaching out to people with no success, but warm messaging, here we go. Epiphany, I needed to send them to a funnel. I created, now I have appointment being set for me, and actually, And the reason I'm changing this, guys, is the achievement is most often the desire, right? So I'm adding people to the downline in just, cool. So here's our story. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down here. Here's our offer. What I'm doing right now is I'm placing this down below just so I can actually go and make this pitch. So that is the content portion, guys. Because remember, if we go up to the top here, in the top of the document, here's the template, right? Intro, origin story we wrote, our 3 secrets, epiphany bridges for the 3 secrets, the stack and the close. And then boom, that's literally a webinar. All you have to do is build those stories, and that's the hardest part, really. And then fulfill on the product. So here we go. Have this. I'm going to take these out, taking this portion out and just putting it at the bottom for my sake so it flows good. Cool. All right. Are you guys ready for this? I think I'm pretty much prepared to go in and give the good old the webinar pitcheroo here. So guys, we have been on for 41 minutes, okay? 41 minutes, kind of a long time, but I literally just built the bulk of the presentation right there, okay? So literally everything we need, we have all of this. I built an offer in the middle of it, like in the process, okay? So after that, it's going through expert secrets, picking out some closes, and really just going through and putting on the presentation, creating the slides and getting traffic in. So if you guys have any questions right now, post them in the chat on the side because I'm about to go in and do this pitch. So let me know if you're learning some good stuff here. Let me know if you're ready, if you're excited, because I'm going to go through and I'm going to do this off the top of my head. And hopefully you guys are dying to buy Trade's product and you can go shoot him a message and actually buy the product if you're in an MLM and you're having these problems, okay? I'm sure he has something similar to this already set up. All right. So if nobody has questions, I'm going to go and dive straight in. Now, I didn't plan anything for the intro, so I'm going to rush through that. But in the actual webinar, what you're going to do is you're going to introduce yourself. You're going to build rapport. You're going to kind of talk about why everything is important, you know, why you're there, why the people are there, who it's for, all that good stuff, okay? So here we go. And intro is especially going to be brief, but all right, here we go. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Trey. I'm super excited to have you here because I'm going to tell you some awesome stuff about how to put your MLM on autopilot, okay? Now, block out about 90 minutes of space right now because we're going to give you some crazy value. So please, listen, I want to tell you guys, I paid so much to get this information. I went through so much pain to actually develop this process for you guys, and now I'm here to deliver it to you. So I know other people charge $5,000, $10,000 for this actual information. So what I want you guys to do is actually sit here and act as if you paid $5,000 or $10,000. So that means, you know, close out your Facebook, close out Instagram. I know you're going to have text coming through and everything, but this is going to be like your favorite binge-worthy TV show. If you miss 2 minutes of it, it's going to be gone and you're not going to know what's going on. So if you actually sit here and you pay attention and you interact, you are going to get so much value and you could totally change your life and your business and your MLM forever, okay? So hello, welcome everybody. Welcome Trey, welcome Terry, Colin, Tony, Kurt, Simone, Christine, everybody. And we're gonna get started in just the presentation. So let me know where you guys are from and here we go, we're gonna get started. So this is my presentation for you guys on how to infinitely grow your downline without cold messaging or ever feeling like an idiot. Even if you've tried everything and failed and you've been through 10 MLMs before and you've tried everything that everybody's told you, okay? So we have some crazy good information here today, and we're going to jump right into the presentation, okay? So my name is Trey. For those of you who don't know me, here's all my credentials. I've worked with amazing people. I have like 12,000 followers on Facebook, which is pretty cool. I want to know how you did that. And you know, I work with all these big people. I've had this success in my MLM. I'm the top earner in this company. I'm the top earner in this company. And now, you know, I've had so much success that what I actually do is, for the majority of my time, is I help other people become top earners in their companies. And I help them gain ranks and ranks and ranks every single week and add people to their downline on autopilot without putting in tons of effort or ever cold calling, cold messaging, or, you know, feeling awkward, because I know what that's like. And if you guys have been doing that stuff, trust me, it's not your fault. I know that's what they teach you. And it's unfortunate, but you're in luck, because today I'm going to show you that there's a totally different way to go about this. Okay. So first, let me show you guys about how I got into the MLM space. So I'm going to tell you about my early days and kind of how I got to where I am now. Okay. So boom, origin story. Here it goes, guys. So I joined my first MLM. You know, I was in Beachbody back in the day, and I didn't really know anything about the industry, but basically people told me that, hey, I could get fit, I could help other people get fit, and I could make money at the same time. So I was all in. You know, I didn't know much about the MLM. I didn't even know what multi-level marketing was, right? I've heard of it before, but I didn't really care. I was just, you know, a buddy of mine showed it to me, and I said, cool, I'm in. So eventually they said, hey, man, you got to start recruiting other people to go and do what you did, and, you know, start buying the products, doing the workouts, and then, you know, recruiting other people as well. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't understand that this is even what I was getting into when I got into the MLM space, right? But then, you know, they said, all right, that's called your downline. I said, all right, how do I do this? And one of my buddies who actually, the guy who recruited me, he said, well, there's all sorts of trainings and stuff by the corporate company. And, you know, so I went over and I looked at all these trainings, and basically what I learned on the trainings was that it was a numbers game. And they said, you know, just keep contacting people, keep messaging people, people who look like they want to lose weight, people who are already in shape, blah, 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 people who want to make money. And they said it was a numbers game. So as long as you contact a ton of people, a couple of them, at least, you know, 5% of them are going to reach back out, and they're going to be interested, and they're going to help out. So basically the name of the game, according to my upline and the corporate, that Beachbody that I was with, they said, you know, just contact as many people as possible, and it's going to work out. So then one day, here's the wall, right? Then one day, so I, you know, I found somebody, and, you know, I was at the gym and I was working out, and I said, hey, man, you should go and check this out. And I was trying to tell him all about Beachbody and the MLM and how we could make money and stuff. And he got really upset with me, and he started freaking out. And he's like, dude, stop. And you know, he pushed me. He's like, get away from me and stop telling me about all this stuff. And, you know, it was in the middle of the gym, people were working out, and they were staring at me, and I was so embarrassed. Like I was just doing what they told me to, you know, what the upline and what the corporate told me to do. And so I said, screw that. That sucked. I was so embarrassed. I went home. I stopped my workout right away, and I said, I got to figure something else out. So what I did is I looked at the other people who were being successful, the top earners in the company, and basically what they were doing is I looked at them on Facebook and Instagram, and they were all making all of this content, and they were talking about these different things that they were doing, right? So so that's what I started to do as well. And I said, all right, well, hey, I'm going to make an Instagram account about this, and I'm gonna you know, post and kind of let people follow my journey. So I tried it out, and basically I started doing Facebook Lives. That's how I started. And I did a Facebook Live every day for 2 months. And, you know, at first it sucked. It absolutely sucked. I was super embarrassed on camera. I was stuttering. You know, people were, you know, talking bad stuff about me in the comments. It was really embarrassing. But then about a few weeks in, somebody contacted me, and they're like, hey, man, I like this stuff. Like, can you teach me how to do that? And I was like, oh my God, wait, somebody's actually asking me if they can, you know, learn what I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, of course you can. So we got on a call, and I told him all about it, and he was super interested. And basically, after about 3 or 4 weeks, I added that person to my downline. And it was crazy, because it wasn't like I had to contact them and I had to spam them and I had to convince them. They reached out to me and said, hey, can I do what you're doing? And it was just, you know, it was crazy, because I wasn't cold calling, which is amazing, but people were literally asking me, and I didn't have to go and pitch anymore. And from that point on, I never cold messaged a single person ever again. All right, so pause, time out, guys. End of the, you know, the origin story right there. What I want to do now, this story, what that should have done is fulfilled the big domino. Okay, so this should have made people believe that building an attractive character or a brand, or, you know, content is the key to growing your downline. Okay, boom. So now a handful of people are going to already be convinced. They're gonna be like, wow, that's awesome, I'm in. I need to do that right away. And that's what should be happening. Okay, so some people are going to be convinced, but what's going to happen in their head logically is they're going to be like, you know, that's cool, Trey. You know, I want to do that, but that sounds like a lot of effort. I don't know if I can pull that off, right? So then what he's going to do is he's going to be like, all right, boom, that's the origin story. Next part, guys, is we're going to go into the 3 secrets. So that's how I got, and here I'm resuming, okay? let me know if that made sense. If you guys have questions on the origin story and how that works, let me know. Put questions in the chat, really get engaged. So that's how I got into the MLM, guys, and that's how I started to get some successes. I started creating content, right? So that's how I got into it. But right now, what I'm going to show you guys today are the 3 secrets to actually, growing your downline, okay? So first, I'm going to show you guys secret 1, and it's how to build a brand with little to no effort, even if you're starting from complete scratch. Then I'm going to go into secret number 2, and I'm going to show you how to never run out of content ideas and build an audience of raving fans, even if you're the most boring person in the world and you have nothing to talk about. Okay, does that sound good? Do you guys want to hear about that? Trial close, right? And secret number 3, I'm going to show you guys how to grow an audience to 1,000 people with just 1 hour per day. Let's just say in 1 month or 2 months, 3 months. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys how to, in 3 months, just grow an audience of 1,000 people in just 1 hour per day. So does that sound good? Is that something you guys want to hear? Would you be interested in that? Yeah. Okay, people are raving in the chat, right? Cool. So let's jump into secret number 1. So, all right, guys, here's how to build a brand with little to no effort, even if you're starting from complete scratch, okay? So first, I'll tell you guys, like I said, I had absolutely no audience when I first started, right? I had no following. Nobody liked me. Nobody cared about me. I just started making Facebook Lives, but so I knew that I needed to build an audience because that's what all the people that were successful in the market were doing, right? All the people in my upline, the people who were #1 earners in the company. So I tried putting in all these different strategies, and I gave up because I just wasn't getting any return at all. So I tried this, and I tried this, and I tried this, and I don't know what people are trying. This is just me talking, right? So I tried this thing over here, and I was trying to build my brand this way, and people said that I needed to, build a YouTube channel, and people said I need to do this and that, and I need to be on Instagram, and I need to have a podcast, and I need to do all this stuff, right? So I totally gave up because I wasn't getting any following. But what I realized was that I was talking about so many different things, and all the people were really killing it. They were only talking about one thing. They all had a theme, okay? So what I did is I said, well, okay, what is my theme? My theme could be fishing, right? So then all I did was I started talking about fishing, and it's funny because I started getting people in my downline, but fishing has absolutely nothing to do with the actual company itself, okay? I don't know if you can actually do this. Like I said, I'm coming up with stuff on the spot. So I started talking about fishing. At first, people weren't really following me, but then other people were interested in fishing and started following me. And then they said, hey man, you're going fishing. Where are you going? How do you catch this type of fish? What kind of bait would you use here? And I started getting followers, and people started getting really interested, right? And I don't know if there's a fishing MLM or whatever, but so I started talking about this thing, right? Fitness is an easier example. So I started talking about fitness and my workouts and all that, okay? Let's stick with the example that we're in Beachbody. So I started talking about my workouts and what I was learning and my nutrition plans, and people started following me and seeing me as an authority. And basically what happened was people started asking me questions, and I was getting all these followers, and it became so much easier to actually create this content. And I didn't have to, go and create an Instagram and a podcast, and I didn't have to have all this authority. And people didn't care that I didn't really have that much experience. So it became so much easier, all because I started talking about one thing. So now I showed you, and that's a much longer story probably. Maybe you have some proof, and you have some examples. So yeah, you have photos of people who are following you and all that stuff. You should in that story, right, at the same time. So it just became so much easier. So now I showed you guys how to easily grow, what was it? How to build a brand with little to no effort, even if you're starting from complete scratch, and we'll say, and have no social proof, testimonials, whatever. Okay. So now I showed you how to do it without having any testimonials, social proof, or results from other people. Cool. So now I'm gonna go to secret number 2. You guys excited about secret number 2? It's how to never run out of content ideas and build an audience of raving fans, even if you're the most boring person in the world. So after a while, I started, I was talking about all my workouts and everything, and people thought it was cool, but I started talking about the same stuff over and over and over and over. So I started making the same videos, and people were getting bored, right? So I had an audience, and it was building up, and it was amazing, and people were already joining my downline, right? So I wanted to keep serving, creating, helping these people out, but I was out of ideas on how I could actually help and serve them. So what I did is I started talking about other stuff, and I got into fishing, and I veered away from fitness, and I told people about my business side of stuff and all that, but they lost interest, and all my great followers started to fall off. So one day, it sucked. People started falling off, and I didn't know why. I couldn't figure it out. But then one of my super fans, and it was a guy that actually, he really liked my stuff, and I talked to him a handful of times. And he was a really good guy, and he came to me and he said, "Dude, your videos, they're not what they used to be. And I don't know, I think I'm done following you and watching everything. It's taken up a lot of my time, and I'm just not getting that much value out of it anymore." And that was kind of a smack in the face, because it's not just that I lost a follower or whatever, who cares? But it sucked. It hurt my feelings, because I was putting in all this effort, and just to hear that one of my super fans didn't like what I was doing anymore, like, it hurt. It hit me in the heart. So what I did, I wanted to make sure that never ever happened. So I all remaining followers, and I said, well, hey, what do you guys actually want to hear about? Like, what questions do you have? And basically what happened is they gave me a ton of questions about, fitness and my workouts and all that. What I did is I said, all right, they said to me, hey, well, what are you eating on this day? How are you cutting carbs? How do you cut real quick? Are you doing keto? Are you paleo? Or what workouts are you doing? How do you get, your big shoulders or whatever, right? So I created all this content for each question. And basically, I said, all right, and I wrote out headlines, Facebook Live headlines for each question. And what it did was, the achievement, it was amazing, because then I never ran out of stuff to talk about, because all I had to do was just ask my audience what the hell they wanted to hear. And they told me every single time. But what's even cooler is that I wasn't only just I was just creating content and like didn't run out of ideas, that I was giving them exactly what they wanted, right? So I didn't have to figure out, hey, what these people want to hear. It wasn't a mystery anymore, because they told me. And now it's amazing, because they get so much more value out of all of my content, and they love me even more now. They're so stoked, and people, every time I get on a live, they're like, I'm super excited. Thank God, Trey, you're here, man. I love it. So so that is how you never run out of content ideas. It's basically, the gist of it is you build your audience using your theme, like I told you in secret 1. And then secret number 2 is you never run out of ideas, because you ask that audience exactly what they want to hear, and then you create content that matches that exactly, okay? So so who thought that was cool? Secret number 2. Are you going to run out of ideas for content? That's a good, because you have to ask them the quick question, okay? Who thought that was cool? Are you guys ready to go into number 3 here? Secret number 3. How to grow an audience into 1,000 people in just 3 months and 1 hour per day on autopilot, okay? So let me tell you guys a quick story, right? So I was getting a lot of momentum. I had that audience built, and that audience, they absolutely loved me, because like I said in secret number 2, I was giving them the content that they were asking for. They got a ton of value out of it. People were super excited, right? So I had this audience. They loved me, and I said, all right, I got to start monetizing it. I got to start making money out of these people, right? I mean, that was the point of this from the beginning, was to actually build a brand so that I could add people to my downline, right? So I didn't want to start marketing to them and just cold calling them and reaching out and cold messaging them, because really, what's the use in that? I might as well be cold messaging people, just like the corporate taught me in the beginning. So I reached out to some people, and it was okay. They were kind of interested. Some people were like, yeah, man, I really like your fitness stuff, but I'm not really interested in the business, right? So what I started doing, and maybe the epiphany here is call to actions, my videos that send them to the funnel. Cool. So I started making a little bit more content about the business side of the actual MLM, right? And I just transitioned over from nutrition and fitness to the business a little bit, and told people about how I was making money. So some of those people, they were like, that's okay, I'm only interested in the fitness stuff, I'm not really into the business. But then there were other people who were really interested in the business, and I wanted to be able to capitalize on those people. So I sent them some messages, and some of them answered. It worked out, it didn't, but I found out it was a lot easier if I could just send them over to a page that gave them more information. So, I looked around, I saw in my upline that there was one guy who was doing this, and he was sending people over to a case study about how he made all this money in the MLM, right? And basically all he did was in the end of his videos, he said, hey, if you guys, if you want to know how you can, if you want to see how I'm making money at the same time that I'm getting fit, and you want to be able to do it too, go check out this page. And what I did is I sent them over to what's called a funnel, right? So I created a funnel, and what I did is I put a call to action at the end of every single video that I made saying, hey, if you guys want to, if you guys are interested in making money and getting fit at the same exact time, then head over to this page and you can see exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. And basically what that funnel did is it showed people the proof that they needed to see in order to actually, in order to believe that they can make money in the MLM just like I am. And it gave them a call to action to actually get on the phone and book an appointment with me. So what's awesome is that I was doing this in just 15 minutes a day, getting on calls. I no longer had to reach out to people and have these long conversations. All I did was put a call to action in the end of the video that I was already making anyway. And I sent people over to a funnel, and then boom, I was getting appointments in my calendar without ever asking for them. And I had people coming up in my calendar and they were ready to go. But what's different about this, guys, these are people, and this is key, okay? This is what you guys have to understand. These people, they weren't being pitched. These people were pitching me, okay? And that was the craziest thing, because when I first started getting on these calls, I started thinking that I had to sell people and that they had to, you know, that I had to really convince them to join the MLM. But what I found was that when these people showed up for the calls, they were already convinced that they were ready to go. And they said, hey man, I'm interested. I want to get involved. And I was never ever pitching people that weren't interested. People were pitching me on how they could actually get into the company. Isn't that insane? I never ever had to pitch another person again. And it's because I used this funnel and I put these call to actions at the end of my videos. And it only took me 15 minutes a day because all I did was throw a call to action in at the end of each video that I was already making that day anyway. And now I'm getting hot leads of people who want to join the MLM every single day on autopilot, okay? Isn't that amazing? And then we go into the classic Russell Brunson, like, you know, here's the transition to sell. And this is me again, not Trey. You know, how many of you feel like this? You know, so back to Trey here. So we covered a lot of things today for you guys here. So first we covered how to build a brand with little to no effort, even if you're starting from complete scratch and you have no social proof or testimonials. And that was amazing. Then I showed you guys how to never run out of content ideas and how to build an audience of raving fans, even if you're the most boring person in the world and you have nothing to talk about. Then I showed you guys how to grow an audience to 1,000 people in just 3 months with 1 hour per day on complete autopilot. And maybe this isn't building an audience. Maybe this is grow your downline, okay? In 1 hour per day on autopilot. Cool. So some of you guys, you could take this information and you can go out and you can get started with this. And, you know, you can, like I said, you know, take this information, actually implement it and start adding people to your downline. But some of you are going to need a little more guidance. And, you know, you have the idea and you know you could do it, you know you could pull it off, but you just need a little bit more help. So let me guys ask you a question. I put together this really amazing offer that's basically going to make sure that you are absolutely going to have success and be able to go implement this process from start to end without a problem. So for those of you who might need a little more help, are you okay if I go and I spend 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes just showing you guys this offer that I put together so that you can have success with it too, okay? And so I put together this offer and basically here it is. And so this is the transition to sell. And that's basically how Russell teaches it, guys. It's really, people who are coming in right now, by the way, I'm writing a perfect webinar, and this is just an example that I put together for somebody else. So I'm pitching a fake product that I just made up on the spot. So if you're coming in, go back and listen to this. All right, so yeah, how many of you feel like this? You know, some people are gonna need more help, right? So here's the offer I put together, and it's something called the MLM Branding Blueprint. So here's what it consists of. Basically, it's a 6-week masterclass. And what it's going to do is give you everything you need to know about how to actually build an audience. So now I showed you guys building an audience is the most important thing that you could do to build your downline, right? So week 1, we're going to talk about, you know, what content to create. Week 2, we're going to talk about what platform to begin on. Week 3, we're going to talk about this, this, and this. And you breeze through the actual content because this isn't what sells people. It's not what's in the course that sells people. We already did all of the selling in the past section, okay? Now we're just closing them. So it's going to tell you exactly how to do this. Here's week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Isn't that amazing? So that's everything, all the information that you guys need to know in order to build your audience, start growing your downline. So then we go into, but I want to it a little bit easier for you guys. And I know that's difficult, so I'm going to give you some help here. So what else do you guys need? So I know a lot of the problems that I ran into when I was first getting started was I just didn't know what to say in the videos. I didn't know what call to actions to use, like I showed you in secret number 3. I was running out of content ideas and I didn't know how to monetize it. So basically what I'm going to give you guys is all the scripts that I use. And these are all things that I've developed and had to go through, and things that I've built over the last 3, 4, 5 years as I was adding people to the downline. So I put together what works. I did trial and error, and I failed a million times and talked to people that denied me. But from all of that, I figured out the scripts, the video scripts that I need and that work every single time to get people to join your downline once you're on the phone, okay? So, I also went through a ton of call to actions and stuff. And basically, you go through and you say, hey, I had to go through all of this work, and I'm going to give it to you guys for free. You're going to get the result. So I'm going to give you all the email swipe files that I developed that help sell people who get off the phone and don't actually want to join, right? So I developed all these emails and figured out which ones works and what didn't. So this is the ultimate MLM toolkit, and it has all the video scripts, it has the call to actions, the done for you content scripts, the email swipes, and everything that you guys need. And basically all the trouble and hard work that I went through, you guys are going to get all of that completely free today when you invest in the MLM branding blueprint today. Okay. So that's amazing, and that's worth $1,000 by itself. So what you guys are going to get, back to the stack slide, okay? MLM branding blueprint for $29.97, and the ultimate MLM toolkit for $9.97, okay? That's a total value of $3,000. So what else do you guys need, though? So I know that some of us need to see examples, and we're more of tangible visual learners, right? So what I've done is I've actually put together case studies and interviews of the best people that I have taught and the people who have had most success using this blueprint in the company. So I go in and I interviewed them, and I said, hey, how did you do this? What did you use? And they told me their exact strategy, and they're like 2-hour interviews, and they actually gave us the funnels that they used, and they give you the the strategy and the email campaigns that they build, and their tactics specifically. And here's the example of this person. John did this campaign, and he added 40 people to his downline in the first month. And Julia over here, she added 6 ranks in the first 2 months or whatever. I don't know MLM stuff. So and they're going to show you exactly how they did that. So those interviews and those campaigns for you guys, that's a $497 value. So here's everything you're going to get. Back to the stack slide. Here's the MLM branding blueprint for $29.97. The MLM ultimate MLM toolkit. You're going to get the case studies and interviews with the best case studies and the people who have success in using this program. Okay, but something that I know a lot of people run into, and this is probably the hardest part of the game, guys, is coming up with all the content and the roadmap. So this is something that took me years to master. Okay, but so even people who joined the program, they came to me and they're like, Trey, man, I get it, and I'm trying to create my audience, but I'm still running out of branding and content ideas. Okay, so what I did is I created this game plan, this program, this whatever, the script that's going to give you all the ideas that are going to sell people in, and the videos that you need to make so that you never run out of ideas. Okay, cool. So back to the stack slide. Everything you guys are going to get. Here's the MLM branding blueprint. You're going to get the ultimate MLM toolkit. You're going to get all the case studies from my best students. You're going to get the MLM content masterclass and roadmap. We're going to do the same thing for Perfect Facebook Live formula. So what happened was, all these people, they were putting out content, and they were putting out all this content, but it wasn't really doing anything. It's because they weren't using the formula, right? So when you're making videos, you can't just go out and talk about things. There's actually a process and a formula that you need to use and that you need to talk to people through. So it's a script and it's a formula that I use in every single one of my videos, and that's how I close people and get them over to the funnel like I was talking about before. So this includes the call to action. This includes how to get people onto the videos. This includes how to keep people on the videos once you actually started, right? So when I started doing Facebook Lives, people they joined and then they dropped off after like 2 minutes. So it's how to get people in, how to keep them on, and how to get them to go over to the place where you want them to, so they actually sign up for your downline. Okay, so here's everything you guys are going to get. MLM branding blueprint. You're going to get the ultimate MLM toolkit. You're going to get case studies about people who have done it in the past, all my best students and their strategies, their campaigns, and everything. Then you're going to get the MLM content masterclass and roadmap, so you never run out of ideas. You're going to get the perfect Facebook Live formula. But a lot of people, guys, they join programs like this and they buy stuff and they invest and they think they get all inspired, but then they don't actually take any action on it. Like, have you guys ever seen somebody who who makes a New Year's resolution, right? We have New Year's coming up in just a couple weeks. And we're going to see all these people back in the gym. And what happens 2 weeks later, right? They're out of the gym. And, you know, it's just sad to see these people who are inspired. And I would never let that happen to you guys. So that's why I'm pitching the Facebook group here, actually. So that's why what I've done is I put together a community of people who are doing the exact same thing as you guys. They all went through the program and they're all having success. So basically it's a support group of people who are doing the exact same thing as you, and they're going to keep you accountable. And we actually hook you guys up with accountability partners, and you have somebody that you can talk to at all times to make sure that you're doing your thing and you make sure that they're doing their thing. Okay. So there's no way that you're not going to go and implement this stuff. And that is super important because we don't want you guys falling off the charts and being like those people that go to the gym for 2 weeks and then they drop off, okay? This is way too important. This is how you build your business, and this is what's gonna make it work for you, okay? So what you guys are gonna get: MLM branding blueprint. You're gonna get the ultimate MLM toolkit. You're gonna get all the case studies of people who have done it in the past. You're gonna get the MLM content masterclass and roadmap. You're gonna get the Facebook community of all the people who have come in with, and you're gonna have an accountability partner built into that, okay? So there's no way that you don't implement this stuff. And the perfect Facebook Live formula. So what's cool though is that, listen, I know you guys are going to need a little bit of help along the way. Okay. This stuff is not, it's not what it comes to me. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? Yeah, I put that the right way. Okay. It's simple, but it's not easy. So I know you guys are going to need a little help on the way. So that's why inside of that group, I actually have coaching, and you guys have one, I do weekly coaching inside of that group. And I actually give you guys one-on-one call with me every single month, so that no matter what situation you're in, you can actually get to me, contact me, and you know, I can help you out along the way. So you're gonna get MLM branding blueprint, ultimate MLM toolkit, the case studies. You're gonna get the roadmap, the Facebook group, the perfect Facebook Live formula, weekly coaching inside the Facebook group, and you're gonna get a one-on-one time with me every single month. So that's everything, guys, and that's a $9,274 value. Okay. So we're gonna go, and then you do a couple closes, right? So I had, let's see. So I'm just pulling some out of my house from Expert Secrets. So obviously, look, I'm not gonna charge you guys $9,274, but let me know if I did charge you $9,274. If all this did was, and we're gonna go back because the if-all statements, they actually come from these, okay? They come from your secrets. So if all this did was show you guys how to build a brand with no effort, completing from scratch, even if you have no social proof, wouldn't it be worth that $9,000? So even if all it did was show you how to never run out of content ideas so that you can always keep your audience going and going and going, and you're adding people to your downline, wouldn't it be worth it? And even if all that it did was show you how to grow your downline on autopilot so that you didn't spend hours and hours on Facebook contacting people and doing all of this stuff, then wouldn't it be worth it? Yes, of course it would. It would be absolutely worth the $9,274. It would be a no-brainer, right? So really, I had two choices when I was going to price this, guys, okay? So choice number one was make it really cheap and sell it to as many people as possible. But the thing is, that doesn't incentivize me to actually stack on the value. I wouldn't be able to go in and have this Facebook group and do coaching with you guys and one-on-one time and actually go in and create all this stuff and give it all to you if it was just $50, right? So I went with option number two, and it's going to have a little bit more of an investment on your part upfront, but it's going to make sure that you guys have all the success possible, okay? So let me ask you guys, what is this strategy worth to you, okay? So what would it be worth to you if I gave you this process that's going to let you grow your downline on autopilot for good? What would it be worth, right? Would it be worth, you know, what would you pay me? Would you pay me 10 grand? And then everybody goes in and they say, no, I wouldn't pay you 10 grand. Well, hey, let me tell you guys, well, I actually, using this process, I add 5 people to my downline every single day, and I now make from my MLM $20,000 every single month. Isn't that amazing? So let me put this back into perspective for you guys a little bit. So I just asked you if you would pay me 10 grand for this, and you said no. So would you pay me $10,000 if I was going to make you $20,000 every single month? Yeah. See, so that's what I want you guys to see, is this is an investment. This is not, it's not costing you anything when you invest today, okay? So you guys can see why, even if you paid me $9,274, it would be an amazing value. And you guys can see why if I charge you $2,000, which is going to be the new price because I'm re-recording and I have all this new stuff that I'm putting in, you can see why it's an amazing value at $2,000. But today I'm going to give you guys this stuff for $997 only, okay? So you get access to everything here for $997, okay? So, so that's what it comes down to, guys. So now you have two choices, really. And so your two choices are, hey, you know, don't do anything with this. Don't invest with me today. Go back and go back to your old strategies that you're using for your MLM, right? And that's okay. You know, if you want to do that, that's fine. If your life is okay and your MLM's going great, go for it. Cool. Ignore me. Don't take any of this. But if everything is not totally perfect and you're not absolutely killing it, then maybe look at option number 2, which is just, you know, put up the small investment today, which is worth so much more than, you know, what I'm asking for if it does even half of what I've said it is going to, okay? And, you know, just take the risk, okay? But the cool thing is, guys, is that really, number 1 is risk-free because, you know, you don't invest anything, but your life's not going to change. But I want to tell you guys, number 2 is actually risk-free. So if you pony up the small investment today, it's absolutely risk-free because what I'm going to give you is a 30-day money-back guarantee, okay? So you have 30 days, and I don't care if that's 30 days from, you know, literally 29 days, 23 hours and 59 minutes from now. If this doesn't work for you, if you don't like it, if you don't use it, if you're not interested or whatever, I don't care what it is. If it is 29 days, 23 hours and 59 minutes from now, you can ask me for a refund and I will give it back to you with no questions asked, no hard feelings. I won't be upset. That's okay. We part ways and you go to your own thing. Absolutely okay. So that's why number 1 and number 2 are both risk-free. So, so now you guys might be thinking, I know there's some of you out there who can't put up the 997 right now, and I want to be able to help you guys with that. So what we've actually come up with is a payment plan where you guys can put up $397 today, and then 2 payments of $397, and 2 payments of $397 later. Okay, so I know that some of you, $397 is a lot to put up front. It's a little scary. So I want to help you guys out, and I'm giving you the option. You could put up $397 today and do 2 payments of $397 later, okay? So that, guys, let me show you again for the last time what you're going to get. So you're going to get the MLM branding blueprint, which is everything you need to know about the MLM. That's worth $2,997. You're going to get the ultimate MLM toolkit, video scripts, call to actions, done for you content, email swipe files for $997. You're going to get all the case studies from my best students who have made, you know, 6-7 figures with their MLM and done this and that, right? That's worth $497. You're going to get the content masterclass and roadmap, how to create brand content and never run out of ideas for $497 dollar value. I'm going to let you into the Facebook group only of the people that have bought the course and are having success and they're killing it. And you're going to have your accountability partner built into there. Next, you guys are going to get the Facebook Live formula and how to create those videos and exactly what to say in those videos so that you're getting people into your downline. Lastly, I'm going to give you guys weekly coaching every single week. I'm going to be there for you so you can ask questions and Q&A. And I'm going to give you a one-on-one call with me every single month, and that is worth $1997. And last, but I'm going to give you guys one more thing, and this is only for the action takers, the people who are looking at this today, okay, the people who are investing today, and that is going to be an onboarding consultation for 2 hours with me right now. And basically, as soon as you guys buy, I'm going to set you in a calendar, or we're going to go through and we're going to create an entire roadmap and game plan for you guys that you can execute over the next 3 months so that you get started on the right track. So this is only for the people who are live with me right now. And, you know, it's only for the first 5 people. So the first 5 people that go over to this website, who go to mlmblueprint.com/go, first 5 people to go over there are going to get a 2-hour onboarding consultation that creates a roadmap and gets you guys started on the right track. And, you know, I'll let you guys know the people who take me up on this and do that onboarding consultation, they have results typically just about twice as fast as the people who don't. So first 5 people who go over there, they get it right now. But that's what I have for you guys right now. So here's the last slide. And I'm just going to go through some Q&A with you guys. So I've been seeing some questions throughout, and people say, hey, well, you know, here's a question from Lori. The question from Lori says, well, what if, you know, what if I already have an audience and I'm not monetizing them? Hey, that's cool. You know, utilize that audience, whatever. So basically, Q&A, what it does is, and this is me, Brendan, again. So Q&A breaks down all of the last objections, okay? Anything that you did not cover in those 3 secrets, any of the not giant objections, you go through and you break those down in the Q&A. So that's the whole perfect webinar, guys. It has been an hour and 20 minutes or so. So for those of you, I have 2 people on with me right now. Let me know if you're still in here. What I've done is I literally just went through, I built an entire perfect webinar and I just pitched it to you guys for the last half hour or so without any slides or anything. So that is the entire thing. I built it right here in front of you guys. So if you're sitting here right now and you didn't see the beginning of this, go check out the beginning, because I literally in front of you guys right now created this entire thing and then went and pitched it. And honestly, I think if I had the audience in front of me, I absolutely think that I would have sold a few people on this. And you know, so let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you thought that was amazing. Yeah, that's it. So back to me. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. And if at any point you're thinking, hey, Brendan, you know, it'd be awesome if you could help me out building my webinar, shoot me a message on Facebook. And I'd be more than happy to go through this process and help you guys out too. Okay, so this is a new consultation that I have going on. And basically, it brings you through this entire process and gets you through and started on the right foot so that you guys can build a webinar in no time, and actually a webinar that sells too. Okay, so that's it for you guys. I am